Hey guys, it's Lauren from the Express Lane, and this week we are talking all about getting organized at work. Now, this is just a quick and simple video. We've got just a few things to cover here, but just a few organizational things to really help set you up at work for the new year. Now, these could be tips on organizing your space and even organizing your time, creating a routine at work. And this video really stemmed from brunch that I had with a girlfriend just a couple days ago, and we were talking about all of the different ways to get organized at work. There are so many different tech channels that we use, so many different software that we use, but also even how we stay organized, and sometimes just need a good old pen and paper and a paper to-do list to just get the job done, right? So we also have a ton of other workplace productivity videos that I will leave linked throughout this video as well as in the description box below. We have some great ones on time management secrets. We have ones on tackling an overwhelming to-do list and many more. So all of those I will leave linked again in the cards up top as well as in the description box below if you want to check those out after this video. But today we're going to count down 5 simple ways, quick and easy ways that you can get organized at work. Let's jump in. One of the first places to start with getting organized is by looking at your desk, looking at your physical space at work. And a great rule to keep in mind is to keep only the essentials at your desk. So we're talking your computer, your mouse pad. We're talking about sticky notes. We're talking about your to-do list. We're probably talking about some pens and highlighters and maybe even a work phone if you have a landline at your office. Those are really the core things, anything essential, things that you reach for all the time. So maybe these are even files that you reference every single day, or maybe this is keeping, a bottle of water at your work every single day. Whatever it happens to be, just keeping only the essentials on your desk, and anything non-essential, things that you maybe reach for every once in a while, like folders you reference maybe once a month or things like that, those can find a spot elsewhere. So maybe they can find a spot within your desk drawer, or maybe they can find a spot on a bookcase. So those would be some other places that you could just move those non-essential items so they're not creating all of this clutter on top of your desk when you're focusing on your essential job duties. And going right along with that is files. Now, we all have files that we reference, whether they're essential files or non-essential files. We all have things that we reference. Maybe it's a password sheet, and you really want to think about, are you more of an electronics person when it comes to these kind of items, or are you more of a paper person when it comes to these kind of items? Now, if you are a paper person, maybe you have a really nice filing system set up with color-coded folders, everything's labeled. And maybe if you're an electronics person, maybe these are stored on the server, and maybe you have some items that are on a public drive, and maybe you have other items on the server that are in a private drive that only you have access to, i.e. would be a password list or something like that. So you really want to decide kind of what's the best way for you. Are you an electronics person, or really are you more of a paper person? And whatever method you adopt, you really just want to make sure that you are able to quickly and easily reference the files that you need. And also important on that note too, if you are out of the office, you want to make sure that your system is something that somebody else could easily step into and quickly find what they need in a pinch if they are trying to help you out with a task while you're away. And while we're talking about the physical space of your office, I also want to talk about the things that really fill your senses up. And by that, I mean your lighting, the essential oils that you might have in the area, as well as listening to music. Now, all of these things, depending on the variation, can help improve your mood. They can help you stay focused, and they can help you really kind of build energy throughout the day. These can be really great tools if that's something that you want to adopt. For us, we have a lot of soft lighting like this lamp here in our office that really helps us stay focused. We also listen to music, and that varies on a day-to-day basis which genre we're listening to, really. And we also do have some essential oils running in the front part of our office whenever anybody enters the space. So these can all be really great things that can help you sort of, again, engage with your senses and sort of pick you up throughout the day if you might be in a little bit of a slump, and that will really get you back on track and stay focused. The next item on our list for getting organized is to have a morning routine. Now, a lot of us talk about having a morning routine at home or just in our personal lives before we get to work, but having a morning routine at work can be a really great thing as well. And maybe your morning routine at work consists of coming in and checking voicemails. Maybe it consists of going on LinkedIn and seeing what your personal connections are up to, as well as checking out that little LinkedIn news section. Or maybe it just means coming in, getting settled, and grabbing a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whatever it happens to be, to really set your focus for the day. It could even be getting into work and pulling up the email newsletter from your company or from an industry company that you follow, that you just want to get caught up and get motivated about what's going on in your industry for the day. However it is that you structure your morning routine, you really want to limit it to about 10 or 15 minutes. This is not a long, drawn out morning routine. This is just quick, simple, getting in the door, getting organized for the day, and getting ready to go. And basically, as soon as these 10 or 15 minutes are up, you want to immediately switch into focusing on your big tasks for the day. We want to avoid non-essential emails, and we can definitely push those off a little bit later in the day. You really want to start when you're freshest in the morning with those big projects that you need to tackle. So try to limit those distracting pieces either to your morning routine or know what can get pushed off maybe till the afternoon once you've actually tackled some of these big tasks for the morning. And along the same lines, we are talking all about creating an end of day routine. Now, same rules apply. You want to stick to about 10 to 15 minutes for this end of day routine. And for me, my end of day routine always looks like making my to-do list for tomorrow. And it also includes writing down any other extra tasks that I'm worried I'll forget about. And for me, this really just helps me kind of shut off my mind for the day so that I can go home and relax and have a nice relaxing evening before coming back and really hitting it hard the next day. Another idea, if maybe you've already got your to-do list laid out, another idea for closing out your day would be to reply to those non-essential emails that we talked about earlier. It could be cleaning up your workspace, just tidying up your desk so that it's nice and clean when you come in the next morning. And it could also mean that you just organize your emails in your inbox into folders, whatever kind of just tidying up that mental clutter or physical clutter that's going to make it easier for you to come in the next morning refreshed, ready to go, and just ready to again take on those big tasks that you have prepared for the day. And the last item on our list is all about organizing your day by time. Now, we've got 3 different time methods that we wanted to talk about to close out this video, but the one thing I want to point out is that no matter whether you consider yourself to be more of a morning person or whether you consider yourself to be more of an after lunch person or a later in the day person, for when you like to tackle those big tasks on the job, these time methods can work for anybody. And the first item on our list is time blocking. Now, time blocking is probably the one that we're most familiar with. This is when we go to our calendar and we say, all right, from 11 to noon, I've got a meeting. From noon to 1, I've got lunch. From 1 to 2, I've got a project I'm working on. We're just separating the day out into blocks and really designating those blocks for different tasks. And this can be really helpful, especially to your coworkers, because that way they know, all right, this person is busy at that time, or no, it looks like this person might have some free open time that I could come connect with them about projects and things that I need their help with. So that is really the basics of time blocking. And the second item is the same but slightly different. It's called time boxing. Now, time boxing is when you look at a specific task and you decide how long you think that task is going to take you, and you really try to get that task done within that amount of time. Now, the thing with time boxing, I'm going to combine the 2 words here. The thing with time boxing is that if you set a meeting on a calendar for an hour, you're going to find ways to extend that meeting to make it take up an hour, even if it didn't necessarily need to be an hour. Now, on the other hand, if you set that meeting for half an hour, now all of a sudden there's a little bit more urgency in there to make sure that you get everything done within that half an hour block. So that is really what time boxing is about setting a time limit and then pushing yourself to get that item done within that allotted amount of time. And time boxing honestly can be a really great push if you are someone that maybe takes more of a leisurely approach to working on things. I guess I always think back to an example that one of my previous bosses told me, which was working like you would the day before you go on vacation, because we're always completely blown away at how much stuff we get done the day before vacation, right? Because it has to get done. You can't push it to the next day. It's got to get done today. And time boxing really goes along with that same concept. And the last form of time method organization that we want to talk about today is called the Pomodoro method. Now, the Pomodoro method is really basic. It's about splitting your day up into 30-minute chunks. And basically, you have a 25-minute chunk where you work on something and then you get a 5-minute break. So it really is like you put in the work and then you get this little break reward, which is nice. But the whole concept of that 25-minute block is that you are going to remove all distractions. You are going to completely hone in and focus on that one task that needs to be accomplished during that 25 minutes. And then once you hit your 5-minute break, you might get up, stretch, go for a quick walk around the building. Maybe you go grab your water bottle and fill up your water bottle, but then you come back to your desk when that 5 minutes is up, and then you start right into your next 25-minute push of whatever task or project you need to work on. Again, completely focused, removing distractions, and really maximizing that 25-minute block. Well, that wraps up our list of our quick and simple ways to get organized at work. Now, are you already using any of these methods, or are there any methods that you're going to incorporate going forward? Let us know in the comment box below. Again, we are also going to leave our time management secrets video linked, as well as leave our tackling an overwhelming to-do list linked in the description box below, as well as up in the cards. And we will see you back here in February for our next video, where we bring you even more tips to help you get your career in the express lane.